Hip. Hip. Morning, folks. Just sorted some cattle because there's a customer buying some right off the farm, and the vet's coming out just to look at the EIDs for cross-state travel. Uncle Jeff just pulled in. We're gonna go pick up Denny, change fields. We finished my first field of beans yesterday, last night, got home about 9. All right, we gotta move. We finished this field last night late. It ran pretty good. I was pretty happy with it. Averaged about 53 to 54 bushels. Not bad. Oil's good. We're gonna drop the head and start moving to the next field. We're gonna follow Denny here. He's pulling the header. Uncle Jeff's got 2 full loads to haul in. We're taking a different route today than what we took yesterday to get to the field. Here's some video of the bridge that we had to cross. We were getting close to rubbing on both sides. It was not fun. This route we're taking today is gonna take a little bit longer. It's like an extra mile out of the way, but we do not want to cross that bridge again. We made it. Well, I guess here we go. Getting into some pretty beans here. Instant yield bouncing around 40, 42. But like I mentioned, this monitor is for some reason about 25% off, 25% low. I think right there it was more like 50 bushel beans, but that's kind of, I don't know, weird. It's kind of just how it's been going. The obvious thing that a couple people will probably say, well, why don't you calibrate the yield monitor? That's the thing, we have been, and it's still 25% low after we calibrate. Kind of hoping this field will average 60. This morning, working cattle a little bit, just sorting some up. You know, it's a little chilly, about 60 degrees, but it's actually getting up to 90, 92 today. It's kind of the last hot day of the year, I think. Next week, the highs will be in the 70s, but it's gonna be a hot one today. Kind of fire danger, you know, when it's windy, hot, all this crop is dry. These beans ended up getting a little weedy. I don't love that. Especially, we had this field sprayed twice, but then bordered a third time. Went all the way around the outside a third time. Still got some weeds that made it. That's annoying. That's a full cart. Almost got these end rows knocked out. Takes a little work, especially this west side is pretty curvy. I think Denny's setting an AB line for auto steer. It makes things a lot nicer. Kathy's keeping this show going. She got us lunch out here right now. My stomach's been rumbling a bit. I'm ready for it. I've been eating a lot of fast food lately, so this is a nice reprieve. Got roast beef with cheese. Oh, it's spicy. It's a spicy pickle. Getting in some pretty good looking beans. Still some weeds that escaped. Kind of disappointed in that. Some big rains this year out here, so that'll kind of get them weeds going and out competing a little bit from time to time. Thick full rows of beans, and sometimes they're laying across, all kind of intertwined. Saying we got about 50 acres done so far. Right now we're working on got an Asgrow 2.7 on this side of the field, and on the other side of the field we got a cropland 2.5, and that cropland number was in the field we did yesterday, and that field ran about 54. I was pretty happy with that. Seemed like an alright bean. This next dump will get Denny full for the third time. This 115 acre field is almost half done. I told Dad we could switch. He said he'll take one more in and then we'll be trucking. Number 1 button raises the header. You won't believe what the number 2 button does. You just hold on. I gotta turn the wheel, believe it or not. Alright, so we're getting kind of close. This number 2 button, yeah, it lowers the header. Pretty crazy. But this number 3 button, do not touch that. I don't know what'll happen, but don't touch it. I'm not gonna touch it. So you know, we got this wind and heat today. When we started the field, we were about 10.2%. Now it's 2 o'clock and we're more like 9.3, 9.4. I'm actually watching the moisture of these beans go down throughout this hot, dry day. We're in the pink, that's that as-grow, and then this brown is that crop plan. I wouldn't mind if it ran better. I wouldn't complain. It's 3 o'clock, this is gonna be my last dump. Dad's gonna take over. This is a must-have on these 90-degree days. It funnels the breeze right at you. Be a great day for a swim. I believe they can fit over 1 million bushel in that pile right there. Don't quote me on that, I might be wrong, but that's where we're gonna be dumping. Man, the line moves fast here. Donnie up here in the scale house, he's a busy man this time of the year, but he also likes the video, so I'm giving you a shout. Hang in there, soybean season is almost over. At least maybe for me, maybe not for you, but probably for me. Working on the last pass here. We're working on right here my last good looking field of beans. The next two got hail, so it's gonna get kind of disappointing after this, I think. But we're gonna move to a 65-acre field just next door, about a half mile away. Combine is so dang wide. Holy cow. Last year this field was beans and the field in the back was corn, so then of course we harvested the beans first and could get to the corn in the back easy. Well, now it's flip-flopped. I got a little grass strip. It ain't bad though. Gotta just follow this path to get back to the beans. And got the head on the combine Dad's going, and they look pretty ugly. They did not come out of that hail very well. They're short, not bushy. Weeds come because, you know, them beans aren't shading the ground as much. Frankly, it's pretty ugly. It's a disaster out here. Look how short these things are. You know, I was faced with a dilemma. There's some weeds coming. Do you want to put a third application on a crop, on a field you're gonna lose money on? And I really didn't want to spend the money. Now there's some weeds there. Yeah, it ain't pretty. Dad made it all the way around the field. And then he did a second pass along this end and still don't see any beans coming up out of the hopper. This field raised really good corn last year. One big thing a few of you may point out, Cole, you had hail insurance, doesn't that help? I had $100 worth of coverage. I think they were giving me about 20 bucks an acre. I think I'll lose about $100 to $150 an acre out here. So the hail insurance helped. It paid the premium and then some. But I'm still gonna lose money, just not as much money with the hail insurance. What did you do?
I bought bad
lime cucumber.
It's not very good. It's not very good.
Oh man.
Ugh.
I got some 90-degree water in mine. You want that instead?
Well, it's 92 degrees. I'll drink it.
Well, guys, that field is wildly worse than what we anticipated. Ooh, it ain't good. Anyway, it's 6 o'clock. Uncle Jeff and I are going home. Well, folks, after this next field, we only have one more. 85 acres of beans, hail damage. But after that, we'll be starting on corn. We appreciate you watching. Love to see you next time. Have a good one. What you been doing all day, pal? You're missing out on some bean harvest.